Good afternoon. This is Tom Stiles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And I was looking for some information about using a Baofeng radio, which is typically used by hams on 2 meters and 440 as a transceiver. It's a handheld transceiver. And I was wondering if it would make a very good scanner radio in addition to a ham radio. And so I was doing some research today to see if anybody had touched on this subject and what their thoughts were. And I ran across a webpage that had some good information for people who own the Baofeng radios. I think I pronounced that wrong. I don't think I've ever pronounced that name or that manufacturer correctly, so I ain't gonna worry about it. Shoot me, I don't care. What the heck. Anyway, I'll show you this website. It's called the Essex Ham, and the website address is essexham.co.uk. So it's for the people in Essex in the United Kingdom. It's an amateur radio club. And they have some great information for amateur radio operators and or shortwave listeners, whatever. And here's some good articles here. And the one that I went to directly when I was doing my search on the Baofeng for using for scanning, this is the page that came up, right? Hello, come on, wake up. I got the slowest computer in the world. Here it is. Guides to using the Baofeng UV5R, which I have one of those. And I was trying to see if it had any information about using it as a scanner. Well, it's got lots of detailed information for someone who has just gotten one of these radios, or maybe they've had it for a while and kind of put it aside because it's so complicated. It's not easy to program this radio manually. I use the USB drivers and a program called Chirp to do the programming for me. And it makes it much, much easier because you just type all the information in a little spreadsheet they give you and you say upload it, and it does all the things automatically, and it's programmed very quickly. But if you don't have that, because it requires a special cable and it requires that software. Now the software is free, but the cable is not. So you either have to make it yourself or purchase it. So anyway, if you're into manually doing it, it's not complicated. It's just that you got to do it a certain way or it doesn't work, and it's a lot of steps. But anyway, he goes through and just describes the radio itself and how to do things. And then here's the important part of this web page is step-by-step instructions on programming the radio, programming memories. And he does a bang-up job, and it even tells you how to program a repeater, because you have to have 2 different frequencies typically on a repeater that's put in, and in adjusting the menu options. And then it gives you a list of all the menu options, of which there are a lot, and it gives you a description of what they are. Much, much better than a little manual that comes with the radio. And then here he talks about how you can do it using an interface dongle, and using your COM port. You have to have either you have to have a serial COM port, meaning you need an old computer, or you need one of these USB to serial converter devices to fake it out. And then here's an example of the programming software that comes with the radio, depending on where you get the radio. And it tells you how to set up the application. It's pretty thorough. And so I'm going back and relearning how to use this radio. I haven't used it, gosh, in 6 months. It's kind of just been sitting there. And so I'm planning on doing a show on, is this radio applicable for using it as a scanner radio? Now note, and I'm going to see if I can show you. Let's go to a new page, and we're going to go to eBay. eBay? Okay, where are you? There's eBay. And we're going to search for scanner radios. Or radio. If I can type radio. And here we go. Look what's at the top of the list. The Baofeng radios. Look at this. They're all over the place. And everybody is adding the tag to their advertisement for their auction. Scanner radio. So that's why when you do the search, it picks it up. So the question is it really a scanner radio? And that's kind of how I got into this subject last night, this morning. I don't remember which, kind of lost track of time. I'm always doing a search for scanner radios on eBay to find a different scanner radio to review on my show. And these Baofeng radios, they're all over the place. Advertised by all kinds of different people, different models, and they're basically claiming it's a scanner radio. And I know it can do scanning. I just don't know how well it can do scanning. You know, is it as good as, and their prices are all over the place, but like I think you can still get them on Amazon for like $35 or less. Here's one for $39. And, you know, here's a scanner radio that will scan a lot more frequencies than the Baofeng. It's used, of course, and it's only $24. So is it better to get a used scanner radio, you know, a real scanner radio, or can you, especially if you already have one, can you use your Baofeng radio as a scanner? Now, granted, it was not designed, I shall say, for a wideband scanner. So that's one drawback. But the question is, and this is what I'm looking into, it does give you the capability of using pretty wide band as far as what frequency you put in. I mean, even though supposedly this radio is only certified for the 2 amateur radio bands, the 2-meter band and the 440 megahertz band, or 70 centimeter, it will receive much a broader bandwidth than just those frequencies. How well? That's another thing I'm going to kind of investigate. So anyway, I would suggest that you go check out this web page. Let me go back to the main web page. Here's the main web page. They've got a lot of articles. Here's one on explaining amateur radio. Offer help and advice for new amateurs. And then, like I say, here's some of their most interesting reviews. Now here's a review of the Baofeng B888S handheld receiver for only 10 pounds, English pounds. And here's a review of the UV B6 radio. So this is a good web page if you're interested in using or already have and frustrated with the radio as far as programming the Baofeng radio. So that's the show for today. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Also, if you really like this show, share it. You know, that really helps me help spread the word of my shows, and I get that subscriber number to go up, and we can have some giveaways. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Yeah, how do I turn this off?